Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road in the USA, and today I'm here to share with you a tutorial for 2 Mother's Day cards using the Felici'Tea Paper Collection by Craft.o.clock. These cards each measure 6 by 6 inches or 15 2/5 centimeters squared. Now I'm using the large paper collection Felici'Tea, and I'm just going to show you what is inside the paper collection. You could use the front of the packaging for extra paper, and I always like how they put the color palette on the bottom of each page. Again, this is the large pack and 6 sheets come in the pack. We're actually going to use one of these sheets as the card base. I love how the paper comes with these cut aparts. I'm also going to use the 6 by 6 or the small paper pack as well. And this comes with 18 sheets and they are double-sided. I'll just show you what each piece looks like. There are similar varieties to the large set, just scaled down a bit, which is really nice for card makers. Smaller cut aparts. It's really nice if you like to make ATCs or other smaller cards. Lots of different patterns, little wreaths that are unique to the small set. I'm going to use all these collections in the 2 cards today. I'm also going to be using the quotes. Now I am going to lay these out with the English side up just so I can see which quotes I'm going to use. But they do have the Polish quotes on the other side. And these quotes would be great for Mother's Day, a variety of occasions, birthdays, very nice and peaceful set of quotes to go with spring, mothers, grandmothers. I'm also going to be using the small set of extras to cut that goes with the Felici'Tea set, and this has 3 sheets of extras to cut. And you can cut all these out individually with scissors, fussy cut them. It's really good to have a nice pair of detail scissors for that. I love this. Look at the teacups and the little bistro chairs. And here's tags and butterflies and little stamps. Really nice looking set. So I'm going to use all these items, all from the Felici'Tea collection, in making my cards today. Now I'm going to take a piece of the large paper. This is 12 by 12 inches. And I'm going to cut off that bottom strip and then simply cut that piece in half. And what I'll do is use my score blade just to score one of them folding one way, so you see the green flower pattern, and I'll do the same thing with the other half of the paper but fold it the other way so you see the wood pattern. And those are our 2 card bases. So easy. Now I am going to cut this sheet of cut aparts all into individual pieces as they are marked, because I want to make sure to have room inside the card to write. And these are pre-decorated and created so that there are lines on the little cut aparts, and that will leave us some nice room to write a message inside. Now this looks like it's going to be just a little bit too long, so I am going to trim that just a bit. And some of these other cut aparts I think would be perfect for the front. The scraps that I cut off from the inside, I'm going to fishtail, make a little scissor notch triangle right there, and use them on the outside of the card. I'm using my tape runner and 2 trimmed pieces from the pack to make a solid color panel for the front of the card. And this solid color panel uses 2 colored, so it's custom made to the way I want it to look. I'm just using my tape runner for most of the basic adhesive, but later when I go to adhere the extras, I'll use a glue gun. And for parts of the project, I'm going to use some dimensional foam. I just want a little bit of lift for this part of the card. And I have some pink foam. Now normally I buy some foam that has adhesive on both sides, or at least on one side, but I didn't have any that I wanted to use that was already sticky. So I'm using my little Xyron sticker maker just to add adhesive to the foam. And then I run it back through to add adhesive on the other side. Now you don't have to use that Xyron. A single-sided piece or a cardboard would do just fine to give you a little bit of lift, or if you have some foam tape, that would be fine. Anything you have that will just raise up the piece just a little bit. I think foam tape works pretty well, but I didn't want to use that black foam tape on this card, and the only kind of foam tape I had was black. So that's why I chose to use that in my Xyron, and that looks really good to me. Now this, I just didn't think it looked like there was enough inside. It looked like it was sort of floating. So I'm going to add 2 small strips of the green that are the same width as that strip of pink that's on the inside card. So I just measure it with a pencil and cut strips. And now 1 strip will go at the top and 1 at the bottom. And it'll give the inside of the card just a little bit more unity. I trim off the excess and then just adhere everything down. With my tape runner. My tape runner and that sticker maker are both made by Xyron. It's going to be much easier to ink the edges of the card before I stick a bunch of stuff to it. So I'm just using my black ink. And that looks really good so far. Now it's time for me to add the extras. I'm going to add all of the extras and embellishments to my panel before I adhere the panel to the card. So after I cut everything out with scissors, I spread them all out on my table and try to find ones that I like. I'm also going to add a quote from the quotes pack. I think the quote that says happiness will be perfect for this card. And I'm going to put it right on top of that pink banner. So like I said, the tape runner works great for all of my scrapbooking and flat card needs, but for dimension, I'm going to have to use my glue gun. This makes the project go very quickly, and you can stick all the little pieces in perfect detail exactly where you want them to stick. Now it's time to stick the entire panel on top of the card. And for final touches, I'm just going to have to add some paint spatter. I love to add paint spatter to my projects for a final finishing touch. It's a little bit of water and a little bit of white acrylic paint. I thought I'd add a little bit of black spatter as well. Although some people don't think to add black to a soft pink card, sometimes just that little bit really makes the card pop. And the inside looks beautiful. So for the second card, we've already cut the card base and the cut aparts. We have that little strip from before from the inside, and it's just a matter of putting together the second card in a similar way. We're going to use one of the pieces from the small collection as a base panel, and we're going to assemble the card pieces on top of that. This one I thought I'd make just a little bit different with a skinnier panel on top. But that looks good to me right like that. Sometimes less is more. Again, I'm going to use my tape runner to adhere down the panel. And just layer pieces of paper on top of that. I do make sure though, if I want to distress the edges with scissors or add any ink, that I do that before I stick it down. Again, I'm going to add a little bit of foam. I found some extra scraps, and I'm going to use my little sticker maker machine from Xyron to make them sticky on both sides. But again, just a reminder, if you want to use cardboard, foam tape, chipboard, anything you have would work just fine. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the first card and just add a few of the fussy cut extras to the front. This time I chose the quote that says lots of sweet. This would be a perfect Mother's Day card for my grandmother, who loves to drink tea and loves to have a little something sweet when she has her tea. I use an acrylic block to rest on top of the items that I glue gun down. It just helps hold them in place while the glue dries. Because we already have so many layers on the card, this little tag is going to need just a little bit of lift, but not on the whole thing. If we don't add a little bit of lift, then it won't be level with the rest of the card. I have some ribbon, and I'm going to punch a hole in the tag and make a loop in the ribbon, push the ribbon through the hole. I see that I need a bigger hole. I make a loop, push the ribbon through the hole, and tuck the ends through the loop. And that makes a very nice tag. I like to use ribbon that you can't see very well, but that just gives a little bit of interest to the card. I don't want it to take away from all of the other important decorations on the front. It's helpful to lay all of my pieces down just loosely before I decide to glue them. It's also helpful to let some of the leaves hang off of the edge of the card. And for a finishing touch, just a little bit of paint spatter. It just looks so good to me. I almost can't help myself. And a little bit of white as well. I'll wipe off the surface of my desk, and here is the card that I made. And the inside. So here are the 2 cards that I've made, all finished. I love being a part of the craft.o.clock creative team, and thank you so much to craft.o.clock for providing the products today. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Links are below where you can pick up supplies. And thanks so much for stopping by. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.